Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I've been in education for a long while, and the reason why I'm in education is because when I was a civil engineer, I saw so much corruption everywhere. We had gambling machines that was confiscated and put into construction sites for our foreign workers to play. The authorities would come to the sites every week collect money. And so I got tired, and I was thinking, is this Malaysia? Can Malaysia be better? Can it be a better place? Can we make Malaysia a better place? And that's what brought me into education and what I'm doing today. Now, I do have good news though. I have very bad news. And the bad news is, so I had this friend who is a researcher in University of Malaysia, and he and his colleagues went all around Malaysia, visiting 20 over schools, randomly selected from different areas of Malaysia, and he did this research. And this research basically recorded teachers in classrooms all over Malaysia, randomly selected. And the reason why they did it was to find out what is going on in Malaysian classrooms today. Because we suspect it's this, we suspect it's that, but really what's actually going on? And so, this is the results that he got. And the first thing people usually ask is, wait a minute, where's the green? Because green means distinguished. Green means the teachers are doing very well in school on all these different metrics. There's barely any green. And what you see is the sea of red. And basically what it is on the left-hand side are things like classroom management. Right? Is the class paying attention? Is the class there? On the right-hand side is everything to do with creative thinking. And so it turns out that our schools today are not helping our children think. In fact, the researchers went into schools wondering what sort of questions were teachers actually asking. It turns out the teachers were not asking any questions. They were not engaging their students. They're not helping with creativity. They're not linking what they're learning in class with what's going on in the real world. The question is, can we blame our teachers? Can we? I like you guys very much. No. We cannot blame our teachers. And over the course of this talk, I'll talk about why. So to reinvent education in Malaysia, a few things need to happen. The first thing is we need to reinvent leadership. And the second thing is we need to reinvent what it means to learn. Is learning sitting down in a classroom, listening to a teacher talk? Or is it a whole different world? And so the entire world has changed. I mean everything. For the past 20 years, the internet has changed everything in the world. Except our leadership abilities and what education is to us. And so this is what we're going to do today. So this is a picture of an actual science lab. In this very good school in Jaya. Well, it used to be a very good school. And this science lab, you notice, is empty. And it's empty for a reason. The Ministry of Education cancelled all science experiments many years ago. So there is no science experiments. And for the audience that's here today, a lot of you are students here in college. So for a lot of you, you actually didn't experience science experiments. Whereas during my time, which was, I was in school up to 1997, we did science experiments every week, more than every week. 2 times a week, 3 times a week. We were doing something with our hands. We were using Bunsen burners, we were mixing chemicals together. My friend caused an explosion. And we were doing all these things. That was absolutely cancelled. The interesting thing is, even though science experiments in schools were cancelled, lab assistants are still there. So, yes, that's right, we have nothing to do. There's no experiments to prepare, but yet they're still there. They're working there. Why? What happened? We saw this science teacher, sorry, not us. The same friends who did that research saw this science teacher teaching science, great, to a class of illiterate students. Students who cannot read and write. And yet there's this teacher in front, teaching science, drawing the cells. And why? How come? How did it become this way? The principals cannot fire teachers. So there was this one principal in this school, TEDxUTARKampar, a different school, also used to be a good school. This teacher was up for promotion. And the interesting thing is, within our Ministry of Education, promotion is based on time. So all you need to do is to wait, and then you get promoted. So there was this teacher that was up for promotion. The problem is, he's terrible. He's a terrible teacher. But he was up for promotion. So the principal said, no, you shouldn't promote this guy. Very bad marks. So he didn't meet his KPIs. So what happened is, the Ministry of Education, the district department, looked at this principal and said, why are you doing this? Why are you rating teachers so badly? You shouldn't rate the teachers so badly. You should rate her better. And so for 3 years, she said, no, no, no. Until she got totally fed up and said, okay, fine. This teacher's fine. Sign off. So what happened is the Ministry of Education then took that, backdated his promotion by 3 years, and paid this teacher who was not performing in school all the cash amount that he was owed over the past 3 years due to his promotion, and paid it to him. Why? How come? Why is this happening? What is happening to our schools? It's because of our archaic leadership principles. That's not just in our schools, but in our companies as well. And we'll talk about that next. Because we need to reinvent leadership, not just in schools, anywhere else. But we need to reinvent it. And the first thing you need to do when reinventing leadership is, number one, to reinvent culture. You see, in our schools today, we have this culture of helplessness. As students, the students cannot choose what they are going to learn. I mean, why can't kids choose what to learn? We have so much knowledge in the world today, especially powered by the internet. I mean, so much knowledge. But yet, our schools only ask students to learn this small box within this huge box. Why? Why can't students learn a different box, in a different place? The culture of helplessness. Teachers cannot choose what to teach the students. The science teacher, he had to teach science to a class of illiterate students. Why? His promotion is based on him teaching science. And so his log books cannot say, I taught English, and you don't get promoted. You have to teach science. So our teachers are helpless. Our principals are helpless. There's this school in Putrajaya. The fan spoiled, and the aircon spoiled in the library. So kids no longer use the library because the fan and aircon spoiled. It's been spoiled for 7 years. Why? How come no one fixed it? They wanted to. But because it's the property of the Ministry of Education, no one could actually replace it themselves. Not only there wasn't any budget to do it, but the teachers themselves, the principal themselves, cannot go out to the public and say, the aircon spoiled, the library doesn't work, can you please give us money? They cannot even do that, because technically, they're not allowed to touch the air conditioner and replace it even with their own money. Why? How come? Why is this happening? Because there's this entire culture of yang menurut perintah. So in every letter that a government servant used to sign, and this was before the change in government, they had to sign their names under a statement that said yang menurut perintah, the one who follows orders. What if the orders are stupid? What do you do? Oh, okay, teach science to a group of illiterate students. See, there's this entire culture of yang menurut perintah, to follow orders. The Ministry of Education is basically saying, I don't trust you as a teacher to do your work. And the teacher then turns around and says to the students, I don't trust you to learn, I don't tell you what to do. And this entire culture needs to change. And I reinvent culture. How we reinvent culture is we give autonomy. This is Acton Academy, and it's the place that I'm attached to right now. And I'll talk about them a little bit later and how exciting it is to actually be there. Now, according to Daniel Pink, there are 3 things you need to motivate people to perform: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. What if we give autonomy to our schools? And we told the kids, you can learn what you want to learn. And we told the teachers, you can teach what you want to teach. And we told the principals, you can lead the school how you feel that it's fit. We have to give autonomy to people, and then only will we have an army of teachers and educators and principals and students who will then go on to improve their own schools. I did this pilot program. So we went to the schools in Klang, and these 2 schools in Klang, almost 4,000 students. 86% of all their students failed their maths. From 1 to 4, 5, almost 4,000 students. Almost 9 of 10 of every student failed their maths. So in a crowd like this, right, we're talking about 1 to 4, 5. Okay, maybe you guys can pass maths, the rest of you fail. Can you imagine going to a school like that? So we did this pilot program there. And basically we asked them to stay back after school. And all you do is to teach each other. So they did. They taught each other after school. Their results in maths went from 35% in average to 75%. So you got this group of students, right, who a majority of them are failing. And now you get this group of students, majority of them are passing. My friends, our kids can be given autonomy to help each other, to teach each other, and they can transform their own education. And so Daniel Pink says motivation is 3 things: autonomy, mastery, purpose. Teachers have a purpose. They're trying to help you. They are very purposeful beings. A lot of the teachers are masterful. They know how to teach and they know what to do. The only thing they lack is people giving them autonomy. And so I'd like to talk about reinventing learning. So there's 2 things we need to do to reinvent education in Malaysia. One is to reinvent leadership, second is to reinvent learning. I'd like to talk to you about this school called Acton Academy. In Acton Academy, there is no teachers, no homework, no exams. Wouldn't you like that? No teachers? Nervous laughter. No teachers, no exams, no homework. And when we tell this to people, they are horrified. What? We tell this to parents, they're like, my kids will never learn. My own brother said that. And I told him, no teachers, no homework, no exams. He looks at me and says, my daughters will never learn. But Acton Academy proves it wrong every day. Now here's why there's no teachers. A lot of our knowledge today comes from online. Yes? Things like Acton Academy. How many of you have heard of EduNation? Right? EduNation, Acton Academy, many online tools, No Red Ink. So you can learn all your reading, writing, math, science, online. Do you need a teacher for that? And so our teachers' roles can be totally changed from just teaching you to guiding you, to being there for you, to mentoring you, to pushing you to do your best. And so teachers' roles can be absolutely transformed here. So in Acton Academy, there's no teachers. Why? Because no one's technically teaching the kids. The kids are learning themselves. The kids are really learning themselves. And so what happens is, kids decide for themselves, okay, today what am I going to learn? Our previous education paradigms is that you had one teacher telling a group of students saying, this is what you're going to learn. In Acton Academy, you have a group of students, all of them individually telling the teacher, this is what I'm going to learn. And they decide on their own. How exciting is that? To be able to be in charge and the master of your own learning. I know Kelvin will be very excited about this. There's no homework, there's no exams, because if you're doing all your maths online, if you're doing all your reading, writing online, the online tools track you. So they know real time exactly what you're doing and how you're doing. In that case, what do you need exams? Because it's tracking you real time anyway. And the data is available for everyone. The teachers, the parents, the educators. It's available for all. And every 6 weeks, they do an exhibition. So let's say, actually right now, the kids are doing a psychology sprint. Each sprint is 6 weeks. At the end of the 6 weeks, they will exhibit what they have learned, all the parents, the community, people, you can come to school and see what they have actually learned. And so where learning is made transparent, where learning is made so that everyone can see, when it's tracked, why do we need teachers' homework exam? There is no need anymore. And what happens is, a few years ago, I mentored these bunch of kids who were Form 5, 7 months before SPM, and they've given up. They've given up on learning. And they spend most of their time in cyber cafes or somewhere else other than cyber cafes, but not school. And the reason why they have given up is because every day they're sitting on a chair and they don't know what the teacher is talking about. How many of you relate to that? Done that before? Okay, some of you. The rest of you are brilliant. And they've given up. But one of these students, he went out to this college and then did project-based learning, problem-based learning, where every day he's solving real-world problems. He comes up to me and he says, I finally found the love of learning. Because he's doing real things, he's doing relatable things. He's doing things that make a difference to the world he lives in. And I believe our education can be like that. That all of us, every student, every child, no matter whether they come from rich families or poor families, or at-risk families, you'll be engaged in learning and they make a difference in the world they live in. And so to reinvent Malaysian education, if you ask me, we need to focus on two things. The first thing is that we need to reinvent leadership and what it means to lead. No longer are we telling people what to do. We are getting people to tell us what they want to do. The old leadership principles is the leadership principles of fear. That's what punch clocks are for. You guys have seen punch clocks? That's what punch clocks are for. Punch clocks are basically telling you, I don't trust you. You might not come to work. You might be late. Whereas the new leadership principles of today is leadership by trust. And it's saying, I trust you'll do what's best. I trust you know what to do. I trust that you do the best that you can. And so to reinvent Malaysian education, we need to trust our principals that they may do the best for their schools. We need to trust our teachers that they may do the best for their children. And we need to trust our children that they may do the best for them. And we wrap all of this round with accountability, with borders. If teachers don't come to work, then bye-bye. No more. If students don't do what they need to do, we take away the privileges. If teachers are not managing or leading their schools well, then you maybe shouldn't be a principal. And with boundaries, and with accountability, we can trust our teachers, trust our principals, and trust our children. And that's how, my friends, we are going to change education for every Malaysian child.